Welcome back to Cross Running. My name is Eric Nichols, your host. We're going to talk some Pittsburg Supercross. Man, did they give us a lot to talk about. But first off, joining me this week, welcome back, Justin Reese. What's up?
What's up? Great racing this week. Got a lot to talk about this week for sure.
Yeah, and you got a baby coming any day, so Justin's got to hop off. Just know that's the reason why.
Yeah, all you mean, dude? We're keeping the podcast going, dude. Taking it to the delivery
Let me
room.
finish the pod. There
Yeah,
you go.
so I had to blur some scenes out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
right.
back again, making it consecutive weeks. This is very rare. Zach Rowe, what's up, Zach?
What up, dude? Just living life and enjoying the good racing that we had this weekend. Every single part of the day, in my opinion, had some great action going on. So
It really did. Last week we talked about how both of these classes this weekend was going to play a factor, and it sure as hell did. And we'll go into it of how much it's really kind of shaking some things up. But like we always do, let's jump right into the storylines. Before we head into it, the first thing that jumped out to me, Barsha announced that he's out for the rest of the season. We saw him go down in the whoops last week. But yeah, Justin Barsha's out, and to be honest, that might be the last we see of Gas, at least a factory Gas in Supercross.
Yeah, Barsh is out for the season. I didn't think he got banged up as much, I guess, as he did from that crash in East Rutherford. Is Gas not racing outdoors? Are they Supercross only?
no, he said with in
I
Supercross.
don't know if that's what I was going to ask. I don't know if Barsha's going to be out there, but at least we know for sure
Okay.
next year. We don't know if they're gonna have a team or
His
not.
statement said he'd be back for outdoors. He's just gonna heal up.
Okay, so yeah. I mean, yeah, this could be Gas last Supercross race. I mean, who knows if anyone on the East Coast, East West Shootout, if anyone will show up. I don't think Ryder D is gonna show up, in Salt Lake or anything
He
like
might.
that.
I wasn't.
So,
I thought he was just riding recently. I saw some videos of
well,
Glenn Hill and a couple.
I
He's
doubt
looking
they're
at
gonna throw him
photos.
on the Supercross. He's
Yeah.
probably just doing outdoor testing, just
Oh
like
yeah,
how
yeah.
Jet Tomac. I mean, if they wanted to, they could race, but might as well just
The
prep for
entire
outdoors.
PC roster is fucking just doing outdoor motos at Glen Helen, dude. They're like, fuck it, we're doing Supercross. They're just doing outdoors.
Yeah, right. They just keep Hammaker on the Supercross track. Everyone else, you got to go get ready for the great outdoors, boys.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, think it's talking about Kawasaki and outdoors. Zach Prado back on the bike, out riding. I mean, I don't know. What are your expectations for Prado heading into these outdoor season?
I think if he's healthy, he gets some good testing in. I think Tickle's still helping test with the bike, right? Yeah, Tickle's kind of the man with that stuff. So I would say I see him in the top five, consistent top five week in week out.
I
Okay.
agree.
Any moto wins?
I think for sure he'll get a moto win. I just I'd hate to. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be dominant. I don't think he's gonna be dominant, but I think he's a consistent top five. He might get a moto win or two.
I
Okay.
think with Prado, the big thing is I think this year is real learning the tracks. He comes from MXGP. They race a lot of the same tracks. He spent years over there. The US prep's different. The whole schedule's different. It's kind of, you got to learn the tracks and stuff like that. I know for us, we do all the qualifying and practice on the same day. They
Mm-hmm.
don't do that in MXGP, so
We
that's going to
don't
be
run the starts after every
yeah,
start.
yeah, so we're gonna have it's gonna be a big change for him schedule wise. So I think it's gonna take maybe a little bit for him to get used to that. But like Zach said, I think he's gonna be a consistent top five guy. Maybe get one or two, moto wins, but you never know. Prado, multiple time MXGP champ, so it'd be
So
interesting to
so
see if he could hang out with with Lawrence and Tomac.
so we're saying top five, right? But you think about it. So we got Tomac, he's ahead of him. Sexton ahead of him. Jet ahead of him. I'm gonna say Hunter ahead of him, right? Who else do we have that we
Yeah,
can throw up
you
there?
say
That
that, but if you look at MX and Nations, Hunter kind of got waxed.
yeah, those ones you just never really know because it's an off
And that
season
was
race. These guys never go over there. To me, it just
He grew up over there.
we've kind of already seen this book with Vial. He came over. He was a two-time champ. MX2. He came over. He hasn't done shit outdoors. Like it's just
I
been
think
He had a
completely
decent.
different ballgame.
I think
He had a
250 is
decent
way
year this
different.
past year.
Yeah, Vial did a lot better in outdoors this second year than he did his
Better,
first
but
year
he's
for
not out
sure.
there. He's no title contender, that's for sure, compared to what he was over there overseas. And I think we're gonna see the same thing with Prado here. I don't think Prado is gonna win a moto. I think this year he's gonna have to learn all these
But
tracks and get used to it. But
the other
I
thing,
still see him being Jet, Sexton, or Eli.
the other thing too is over there, they're unlimited. here you're kind of restricted, and I
Yeah.
think
Well, not only that, like
that Kate's
they
But
are
it,
only motocross. Like these guys, like Prado was focusing on Supercross at the beginning of this year. Now he has to make that shift, so that's another factor too that he's going to have to adapt to. But I don't know. I just don't think it's going to be a great outdoor season for Prado. To be honest, I think it's going to be very similar to his Supercross season. I think he's going to be that 7-8 guy from each weekend.
7, 8 guy every weekend? I don't think
I think
so,
so.
dude.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's going to be
Oh
a lot
my!
of guys out
This
there that are going
this
to put
this
it to him.
isn't
To be
Kyroli
honest,
coming in
mark
at the
my
end of his
words,
career.
Jake Koop's
Kyroli
going to
was
beat him. Jake Koop will
Kyroli
beat him
was
at the end of the year. Jake
Kyroli
Koop will be
was
ahead of him
seven.
in points.
Kyroli was a seven
the
eight
biggest
guy, fucking coming off an injury and fucking the end of his career.
the biggest thing with Prado coming in outdoors, I think, is he has a lot more testing than any.
Brand new bike
Besides,
too. He's never been on an aluminum
besides
bike.
the Lawrence brothers and Tomac, I think he's got more testing than everyone else does, and I'm sure that
Well, yeah, but once again, but look at what he said. He's testing at Glen Helen. Hey, that's going to be good for Paula.
everyone
As
Glen
soon as you go
Helen
to any of
too.
the other sports,
they're
he's
always
gonna
riding
struggle.
Glen Helen. Stopwatch Nationals, dude. I'm interested to see when that happens. I mean, I want to
That's
Right?
gonna be good. I think that's coming up, right?
yeah,
That's like the weekend before the outdoors. They're doing like
Probably.
10K stopwatch national. That's gonna be
yeah.
sick.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't see. I think Prague's going to have to learn these tracks. I think he's going to have a big learning curve, and he's not going to have these great starts they had in MXGP. Like we said, MXGP they groom every single time they do a start, so they can do the 1 foot up peg. But out here, when you got a fat ass hole in front of you, he's going to have to start with both feet down. And yeah, I just don't see. I don't think he's going to get any moto wins. I don't think he's going to podium. I think he's 5 to 8 on a consistent basis, very similar to the Alice first year. I know his second year he did much better, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't
Have
see it
some
there.
fucking faith, dude. What the fuck?
Faith on what? Why should I have faith in him? I got Jet, I got Eli, and I got Sexton.
Yeah, because we want we
I don't
want
think he's beating those guys.
we want fucking 8 different guys that can run up front. That's what we want as spectators. That's why you need to have some faith.
Right now we got three, and dude, Paul is gonna be fucking insane. Right now,
I agree. I
with
think
Yeah, it's gonna be
everyone lining
stacked.
up healthy, it's gonna be fucking nuts.
I think it's gonna be sick.
Uh, Yeah. All right. Well, and then the last thing that I have here as far as storyline. So we just found out before we hopped on the show here. So Australian motocross Joel Evans, MX2 racer, I believe it is, passed away during the race yesterday. So I mean, the moto community can't take a break. Can't catch a break. This happened overseas, but once again, Zach, here we go. Another very sad story when it comes to the sport of motocross. And yeah, I don't know. It sucks. I've been out golfing. I haven't really been riding lately. So yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's brutal. It's a brutal sport. It's one of the toughest sports in the world. I mean, and these guys are at the top of the level and pushing it every day. So I mean, mistakes are gonna happen. It's gonna be bound to happen. I didn't see the crash, so I don't know if it's
Mm-mm.
like a freak accident, kind of like what we saw with Jerry Robin there. But with his crash last weekend. But you never know, man. Every time you throw a leg over the bike, it's a gamble. So
Yep. Yeah. No, Justin. And then yeah, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bummer, but it's that risk. We all know what can happen. We watch it time and time, and it doesn't stop us from throwing a leg over. That adrenaline rush, that free feeling when you're behind the bars. You just know. I mean, you can't even describe that feeling you have when you're behind the bars. It's like everything goes away. So, we always risk it. We know the chances. That's why you can just, kind of invest in the safety gear and do the best you can, but shit happens, it's racing. It happens in all kinds of other sports. Football and other sports, it's my little bit less of, paralyzed injuries like that. But they have more of those concussions and stuff like that. So, there's risk reward in these sports. If you want to make that money, you got to push that extra level to be a top guy. So it's part of the sport. It's the worst part of the sport. All you can do is, protect yourself as much as possible.
Yeah, it's a dangerous sport all the way down to the amateurs. Some guys see a 30-foot lagoon jump over water and are scared shitless.
Yeah, dude, when your arms are pumped up, dude, you're not trying to go viral on fucking YouTube, dude. You don't want to be the guy that
We
ends up in the
need the
fucking water,
views,
dude.
Justin. We
so
need
hard,
the views.
No, dude.
Yo,
Hey,
hashtag
our,
dude.
already got the fucking phrase finger bang, dude. I'm gonna trademark that shit, dude. It's fucking going viral now, dude. Webb had to have seen our clip. He's like, dude, that dude's smart as shit. I'm gonna fucking say that in the press conference. So,
Yeah.
yeah, finger bang gang.
What are,
Yeah.
what are the odds, dude?
What are the odds, dude?
Oh, we're gonna get into it. Don't you worry. I got a little message for Cooper Webb out there, dude. He has our golden ticket. He's our fucking
Yeah,
Willy Wonka, and he just fucking left us
yeah.
hanging.
Hey,
Uh,
I'm gonna send Supercross and him a cease and desist order, dude. Fucking using our quote, dude.
yeah, gonna get cross-threaded trademark because Ricky
Yeah,
always
fuck.
likes to throw out there getting cross-threaded. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Any other stories that we're going to? Those were the only ones that really kind of stuck out to me. I think we covered a lot last weekend, but I don't really don't think there's anything else that's really came out.
I didn't really, nothing storyline really. I think the only storyline we all pretty much had was this race is going to determine both championships. This race is
Yeah.
critical for the championships. I think that's just the biggest story coming into it. Um, yeah, I don't really know anything else unless you heard something, Zach, that's crazy or outlandish.
No, I mean, I haven't seen anything. All I know is that this week freaking delivered, man. It was a
All
great.
right. Well, let's talk about this week, right? Jump into the track layout. We thought weather might be a factor. They covered the track. It looked great to pump the water out. I mean, it looks sick. The track actually had kind of like a two-tone look to it. It had like a caramel dirt and then like a dirt, like a dark chocolate too. So that was kind of cool. But I mean, the track, I mean, it ended up, was in great shape. That split turn, that split section was really good, especially when you saw Jay Coop fucking really take advantage of it. But yeah, Justin, we'll start with you. Hey, the track worked out, really long start. But yeah, I mean, not really any complaints. I mean, it had some challenges for
I think we just got to give another shout out to the track crew. I think with all the rain or possible mutters we were supposed to have, they've done a great job this year on keeping these tracks covered, pumping the water off. They're storing a bunch of dirt on the start, and covering it to keep it dried, to come in and, fill all these holes or all these puddles and stuff in order to keep it dry. And, I mean, I was almost thinking they're going to have to put water on the track towards the end of the night. I mean, it kind of
them.
started getting dry. So, I mean, I think we couldn't have asked for a better track condition. We got good ruts in a lot of the turns, a lot of different lines. Looks like the I guess you could say start the first corner right there. There's a lot of different lines in that they're really able to use the edge of that tire and lean the bike over. So there's a lot of traction in the dirt as well. So can't complain about the first race in Pittsburgh in 40 something years.
Yeah, and Zach, like Justin touched on it, at the end of qualifying, it really started getting dried out. I mean, a lot of the bowl corners didn't have any ruts, and going into qualifying, I'm like, shit, this is another hard packed track that Sexton's gonna go out there and fucking work them on. But come the night show, it actually kind of changed a little bit.
Yeah, I thought the track looked great. I thought it raced great, especially in the 250 class. We saw a lot of good battles throughout the field, all day long, kind of. I think one of my favorite parts about the track is when they stepped onto that corner.
Hmm.
With the right hand, it was a 180, and then
Yep.
the left side had the kicker with the triple after it.
Yep.
And the right side didn't have it. I thought that was a great section to mix it up, and you saw some of the guys, some of the top 250 guys, not hitting the kicker and tripling after that little roller. I thought that was a great section to have in there, and those are the kind of tracks and stuff that I want to see. I thought the layout of it raced really good for the weekend, and yeah, couldn't ask for anything else. So
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple of things I think they could have done better. I think a couple of the corners were a little too deep, like specifically the split section of the S turn.
Mhm.
The outside could have worked a lot better, but that outside berm was way out there. Like if they would have brought it in maybe another 10 feet, those guys that went to the inside, went over the table and utilized that outside, it probably would have been even faster. But there were a couple of corners, and Justin, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but it seems like some of these corners are giving them a little bit more room to kind of see if it helps them make some more passes.
Yeah, I think honestly the depth of that split turn was perfect because I mean if you bring that outside or however you want to say it, in more, I mean that would have definitely been the only line they were really going to. Because Cooper was making it work. You're coming out of that corner so fast into that first turn corner area that that was the benefit of it. So you were gonna lose some time in the corner, but you were gaining that entry speed And that's where you're making your time up. I think if you would have brought that corner in a little bit better, it would have been a one line. They just would have been going to that, inside then outside, and not doing the split because it changed throughout the night. For a while it was fast going outside then inside. And then I think J-Cube really showed a lot of people the tripling on and then going inside outside in the heat race could work. It was working and people were switching it up. I know Sexton went back and forth in the main, we'll get to that, but went back and forth in it. So I think the depth of that was actually perfect.
Yeah, that inside of that exiting out was a really, really deep rut too. So that kind of slowed the guys out there as well. Um, but all right, let's go over into lit kit. I mean, I had a couple that have been jotted down, but Zach, who stood out to you as far as lit kit?
Dude, I when they first announced it, I thought that Thor gear looked like dog shit. I could not stand it. Maybe it's Medium Boy doing the marketing shit.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't
Yep.
fucking stand it. The more I watched it, and then Thrasher paired it with the blue boots, I thought it
Yeah.
ended up looking pretty sick. I think though I will still give the lit kit to Roxon. That
Roxon.
yeah,
The Fox
Okay.
gear.
that Fox gear where they had like the purple and pink and black wave. That shit looked pretty sick.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Uh,
He's worn that a couple of times. I think that might be a signature gear. I think he has a
I
signature.
did not drop Roxon down, so he must
Yeah,
not have stood out to as much as the other three I have. What about you, Justin? Who do you
I
have?
I like that FXR gear. I thought that FXR gear was pretty clean.
the white.
That the club boys were wearing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it looked good on camera too as well. It's easy to
Yep.
spot them, and it's just kind of clean, simple design. Talking about the Thor gear, I kind of wish they would have gone the pants the same color as kind of the jersey, like it is in baseball. You kind of keep it, all the way down. The pinstripes stay the same. But I like that they're at least kind of, adventuring, trying something new, not sticking to the simple basic shit like always.
Yeah, look, like it's cool. Like I love to see the collabs. I'm a big sports guy. I love baseball, but to me, I personally, I don't like the crossover. I don't like the baseball uniform look in Moto. I just think it looks funky. I mean, it's cool. I'm glad that they're trying some different things, but to me, I'm just like I just don't like that crossover. I agree. I think the club guys, the FXR, it looks good, dude, because it's always head to toe. They always have a helmet that matches it too, and it's always different colors. It wasn't just blue; it's like this slate blue looking color. So that was really clean. To me, shout out Gordon, dude, over the SMX Next. His kit looked pretty sick. I also had Chase Sexton, which is funny because in qualifying, I'm like, hey, that's actually a pretty nice kit, but if he wasn't wearing white boots. If he was wearing orange boots, it would look even better. And then sure enough, he comes out heat one and he's wearing the orange boots to match it. And I thought that looked really good too. We kind of thrown out there Sexton. He often looks like an F1 driver out there, the kits that he wears. But I mean, without a doubt, there's quite a few that stood out there that look sick. And then we also saw a couple bikes too. Justin, I know you saw, who was it? Lahovey. I think he had a
He
Steelers
had,
tribute bike, right?
yeah, he had it. Lesher
Yeah,
did
Lester.
old school Steelers.
Dude.
I know
Mm-hmm.
Oldenburg and the Canvas guys, I think, did a Steelers jersey. I think Justin Hill I had some type of like Steelers jersey. So a lot of people were getting into that Steelers Pittsburgh themed gear.
All right. Well, shoot. I mean, this is the first week. I don't think we've agreed on a lit kit.
Yeah.
I think everyone kind of had their own. So, all right, that's a first. So it kind of tells you how many good kits there are out there. We couldn't agree on one. All right, going over into qualifying, 250 qualifying. RJ Hampshire first, 48.5. Hammaker, Bolin with a top three. Bial, Forkner, Thrasher, Henry Miller, Hymas, Kobush, and Cole Park rounded out the top 10. Justin, we'll start out with you. What stood out to you in these qualifying?
Uh, I think RJ being a half second faster than everyone was a kind of a shocker. I mean, I know RJ can do that, but I thought Hammaker, was probably going to be the fastest or, at least be closer with the speed Hammaker's been showing. So
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked RJ had that big of a gap and difference between everyone else. Because, I mean, even from RJ to third, who was Volan, he was a second faster. So RJ was on a whole nother level in that qualifying. I think Vial took that hard hit in qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
He's lucky he got away from that. That could have been really bad. I saw Jerry Robin. He's kind of making, light of his scenario.
Hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
cool to see Jerry Robin and like good attitude, good mindset. He even commented on the Supercross, Vial crashing. He's like, well, I've seen that one before, whatever. So it's cool to
Hmm.
see that Jared's at least, in good spirits and, he's got a positive mindset.
And
Um,
watching,
you
right? He's
know,
watching the sport too.
yeah,
A lot
yeah,
of guys kind of unplug.
it's just cool. He's not making a downer of the situation. It's a bummer, but it seems like, Jerry's, just positive mindset, and like I said, hopefully he can get back on a bike, when we see him return to racing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Zach, how about over to you? I mean, Austin Forkner, he gets a fifth. That's back-to-back weeks with consistent qualifying times. I mean, I don't know, maybe he is turning in a corner, but I'm getting nervous for him heading into outdoors.
Dude, it's I'll go off on that dude in the fucking name, but what really stuck out to me, the last qualifying 250A session, off
Mm,
that start, neither Hammaker nor Hampshire wanted to back down. Like
yeah.
it was like a fucking moto, dude. I was at work. I was literally
Yeah,
at
they
work.
were
Hopefully, my
battling.
boss doesn't watch this, but I was at work and I was watching and like trying to do shit at the same time. And I look up and I see him battling. And I'm like, dude, am I missing the fucking race right now? Like, what time is like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I thought it was sick that neither one of them wanted to back down. They both wanted to set the tone for the night, and yeah, just from that, I think that started off the entire day just of great riding, great racing, and got me stoked while I was at work. So
Yeah, trying to play those mind games, start it early, and hey man, I'm gonna make a point, in qualifying right here, I'm the fastest, I'm the top dog. Yeah. It's cool to see when riders get like that, especially with the title on the line. It's like they're starting from, like you said, qualifying on out. They ain't even waiting until the night show. It's mano a mano, let's go. Let's
yeah,
do it right now.
Which is weird that it doesn't have more often because even the 450s, like we saw Malcolm Stewart, like he hopped in right behind Chase Sexton was doing his burner, and Sexton crossed the finish line fastest lap, and then Mookie right behind him was only like 2/10 of a second off of him. Webb got behind Sexton a few times, so it's interesting that the faster guys they don't do that. Like if you know Sexton's gonna be the fastest guy out there, every time you hit the track, fucking get in there behind him and see what he's doing.
right.
But yeah, no, I mean both qualifying sessions were great. Going over into the 450s, a little change. Justin Cooper, 51.4, fastest overall over Sexton, Cooper, Webb, Roxon, Stewart, Hill, Sabachi with a seventh, Barsha, Ferrandis, and Oldenburg round out the top 10. But Zach, going over to you,
Wait,
450
wait,
qualifying.
I got Sexton as the fastest qualifier. Didn't you say J Coop?
No, yeah, Justin Cooper was.
I'm looking at it right now, Pittsburgh. It says Sexton with a 47.2. You looking
No,
at last week's?
oh, am I?
I
The
think so.
hell?
Yeah, God, dude, get it
I could
together.
have
Loose
swore it
ass
was.
fucking
That makes no
program
sense.
over here.
Hey, I'm gonna
Holy
blame.
I'm like, am I
shit,
wrong? Or,
God.
I'm blaming Racer X over here, dude. Racer X
Fuck,
doesn't even have
Racer.
it up there. There
Yeah,
we
they
go.
do. I'm on Racer X, bro. That's why I
I
was
think
like,
I think what it did, I think it saved the last results.
jeez, get it together.
Well, shit, we went all the way through 250, then it was damn near the same. That's fucking funny.
Yeah, but no, well, so the correct for 450 qualifying, Sexton the fastest. Then you got Webb, Mookie, Roxon, J. Coop, Hill sixth, another good qualifying by Hill. Hill's
Yep.
showing some consistent speed. But Sexton, a half 0.4 seconds ahead of everyone. Sexton still got that blazing fast speed. And it's
I
weird.
was surprised though at that last qualifying session. Him and Coop kept going lower and lower and lower. Then
Mm-hmm.
the Roxon jumped in there at the end too.
Yeah, and then Mookie threw in
Yep.
that fast lap too.
Yeah,
So,
so I mean, it was just setting the tone for the night, and yeah, I love seeing those qualifying speeds, those one lap sprints, and seeing who can do it. And Cooper Webb really surprised me staying that close to Sexton.
so
Yeah, Webb
Webb.
really found some speed this year. I mean that
Well,
I'm
I
curious
think.
to see if it's going to translate to outdoors, but Supercross he 100% found that sprint speed.
Yeah,
Webb. They were talking about it on the. I think Weege last week was talking about it. How during the week, they're like, hey, if you can match this pace for like 15 minutes or something like that, then you're done for the day or something like that.
Mhm.
Trying to get, Webb to get this sprint speed because, for Webb, that's always kind of been a problem is the sprint speed, that one lap speed. It's always, he just relied on his ability to turn down and, the consistency. So, it's good to see that Webb's really thrown his name at the top of the leaderboard in qualifying because he rarely ever did that.
Mhm.
Kind of would remind me of like a Reed back in the day. He'd qualify like fifth or sixth, and then he comes out in the main and wins. So that's normally how Webb is. So it's cool to see him up top or close to the top.
Yeah, and then Joey Savatgy, 9, Dean Wilson, 10th overall. So good qualifying sessions for those guys. But yeah, Zach, 450. Anything else stand out to you?
Nothing really. No. I'm gonna pass this one off to Justin here.
All right. Well, let's go into heat number one. Let's make sure I'm looking at the right thing. Hammaker looked great. It continues on. Hyma second, Thrasher, Vial, Colin Park, Nice, Culp, Jack Rogers, Matty Jorgensen, Rodville misses it. But yeah, Moto 1, Hammaker went out there. I mean, he looked great. Put on a clinic.
Yeah, I honestly, start to finish, I thought he looked great for the night show, and I really thought that this weekend was going to be his weekend. But yeah, pretty much just let it start to finish, and showed everyone that he meant business.
Yep. And then Justin, going over to heat number 2, RJ Hampshire looked great. Bolin looked incredible. Forkner, Kobush, Simonson, Munoz, Miller, Chambers, Clark, and then Chandler Baker misses it out. But I mean, Bolin really stood out to me. I put it in notes. I'm like, damn, he looked good. I thought he was gonna win the damn thing. But yeah, I mean, you honestly looking at these heats and heading into the night show. I mean, you really couldn't have asked for anything better. RJ and Hamburger getting the wins.
Yeah, I mean, I think Volan's maybe the most impressive ride of the whole day, not just, one race, the whole day. I mean, qualifying, third fastest qualifier. He literally was giving it to RJ. You never really, Volan's good at doing it for maybe, the first few laps, but Volan was there pretty much the whole race.
Hmm.
It seems like Volan's finally really getting that speed back and proving what he's capable of, and he's just been hindered by all these injuries over the years. I wonder if that handbrake is really kind of maybe helping out in some of these tight supercross sections. Him not having to worry about getting his rear or his right foot on the rear brake, and
That
making it a
shit's
little
gotta
bit
be
easier.
so hard to learn and get used to, dude. It's on the same side
Oh,
as this clutch. There's no fucking way it's an advantage.
I think
That's
the
gonna be
only
so
time
tricky.
I think the only time it's an advantage is a right hand turn because you could get your foot out faster, or like in the mud, like Foxborough, to where you're worried about your rear brake pedal getting
Mud, yeah.
clogged up with mud. So that's like the only way I see a real advantage for it. But other than that, I mean, a Supercross having to land and you're pretty much landing on your brakes as it is, and dude, you can accidentally slip and grab your clutch instead of your
Hmm.
rear brake or one or the other, and it's fucking endgame. So.
What it
Yeah,
looks
kudos to him for trumping it out.
what it looks like to me though is he's starting to get more and more used to that thing. Uh,
Yeah.
Hmm.
so like from the beginning, it looked fucking wild, and I didn't
This is the best he's
how it
ever looked all year. All year, the best he's looked.
But it kind of looks like he's starting to come to it and get more and more used to that thing. I mean, riding your entire life with a foot brake and then trying to go to a handbrake, you ain't
Hmm.
gonna learn it overnight. So
Supercross too, yeah.
props to him for sticking it out, and then also props to Club for helping him out and doing making that happen for him and still believing in the kid. But yeah,
Hey, we'll talk about the main event, but at the beginning of this podcast when we started, I put Volan as a sleeper, a guy that's going to stand out, and this was the weekend I've been waiting for because we know how good he is. We saw what he looked like
right.
A1 last year,
Fuck.
PC bike, and they're like, "Damn, what happened to him?" And I was waiting for it, but I mean, yeah, he looked great. I mean, he passed RJ back, and then RJ got him back, but I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, he looked
I
he
thought
looked
he
damn
was a
good.
banger, dude.
Yeah.
I thought it was sick. So
Yeah, I think the Volan, I think what's really turning his year around is just that Blue Crew, dude. That Yamaha power and that bike, dude. He's just loving, dude.
Yeah, well,
Blue
we're still waiting for it to turn your year around at works,
Hey,
Justin.
hey, 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 it ain't the bike problem for me, dude. It's the
Yeah,
rider,
well,
dude.
I
It's
don't know.
fucking. I got to go to work on Monday, dude. I can barely hold on for the fucking
The
first 10
jump's
minutes,
fucking
dude.
20 feet, Justin. You could run and jump across on your bare feet if you had
I
to.
probably could, but I don't got to worry about holding on to a fucking bike, dude. Well, fucking, I'm a fucking
Hey,
dude.
if
Land,
you did
land that lagoon
the
jumping,
light time
fucking,
before, you'd probably be all right, dude.
yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, hey, my bike's gonna ghost right into the fucking lake, dude, if I jump the lagoon, dude,
Dude,
halfway
I
through
hit
the
that
fucking
shit in
race.
first gear last year on accident and still fucking made it. Just fucking wrapped out first gear.
Yeah, hey, you can hold on, I can't.
No,
Uh,
just got put your 415 third. Fucking hold the goose wide open.
Hey,
yeah.
If anything, just don't go up short, dude. Go 40 feet
Close your
fast. Who
eyes.
cares? Yeah.
yeah, fuck, dude, I'm gonna fucking jump in with a fucking floaty around my waist.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, little off track there. If any of you have raced Havasu Works, if not, or have been there to watch it, they have a lagoon jump. That's actually a really cool feature that Justin is terrified of. And who
Not
knows? We'll see.
terrified,
Maybe
just
later
can't
this
hold
year,
on.
maybe next year we'll see him do it. Just do it in practice the first lap, just so
Yeah.
he did it.
Hey,
Um,
all I know is I'm the only one out of our whole group chat that even showed up to the damn race this year. So
that's
talk
true.
all the shit you want. I'm the only one that fucking showed up to be on the
Hey,
line. So
now you know how Chase Sexton feels, huh? You feel
yeah,
good, don't you?
well, Sexton would feel a whole lot better on a Yamaha. Let me tell you.
Uh-huh, yeah. All right, back into the racing. 450 Heat 1. Ken Roxon looked great. Thought Webb might have something for him. Ferrandis third. Wilson with a fourth. He keeps getting better. Oldenburg, Hill, Craig, Colt Nichols, Kyle Chisholm rounded out Justin. But yeah, Heat number 1. Roxon looks great. Maybe that shoulder's starting to get a little bit better.
Yeah, Roxon seems to be riding a little bit better. It looks like he's. I think I heard he's finally been able to ride during the middle of the week, which is huge just to get kind of go through the motions during the week. Only thing I really have written down for that was keeps riding really well. Ever since he's got some help from Honda with some factory parts, he's starting to really kind of put it together a little bit. I mean, it could be the best we've seen him in Supercross the last few weeks.
So
Because
here's my theory on this. I sure maybe France is riding a little bit better, but I also think some of these other guys are starting to kind of mail it in here. I think the APs, the Malcolms, the guys that were usually beating them like week
you
after
can't,
week, I think they're
you
starting to
can't.
kind of mail it in here at the end and just
You
kind of like,
can't say
whatever.
Mookie. You can't say Mookie and AP are mailing it in. Mookie's fucking slamming into Roxon on the last fucking lap, dude, for fifth place. They ain't mailing it in, dude.
He did, but I'm just saying, Frandis is probably one of those guys that's benefiting from the weaker field and benefiting from it being at the end of the year where
Well,
everyone's kind of already set
well,
in place. That's
well.
all I'm saying. He still looks like shit out there with his gear, but
Everyone's benefiting. Everyone would be fighting for fucking third and fourth place if Tomac and fucking
all
Jet
all
were
I'm
racing.
saying, all I'm saying is I'm not looking at Francis of like, oh hey, Francis is figuring it out. He's gonna be a top 5 guy next year. Like
Oh no.
I don't
Well,
know.
at least right
Good
now.
Hold on. We're not saying
good for him.
maybe Justin.
Good
God,
for him.
Maybe Justin might be saying that, but I'm not saying that either. I'll give him credit.
So
He's been riding
okay, so Zach, so have you been impressed with Dylan Ferrandis?
the last 4 weeks. He's been riding better than he has for sure.
since he's gotten those parts from Honda and the help, he's definitely riding a lot better than what he was in the beginning of the year and up until that point. He looks way
I
better.
mean,
He's battling
the
fucking
results
people. He's
alone,
not.
the results alone are proving it. I'm just saying he's riding better than what he was at the start of the year.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. I think he's definitely riding better. I think there's another part too. This end of the year, a couple races back, these guys know that they're just trying to survive at this point. I think we're seeing a lot
You
of that
want?
field too. I
I'm
think
gonna call
Brand's
you
is
out
still trying
too.
to prove a point.
I'm gonna call you out too for saying AP's mailing in because that dude has been consistently up front, like not up front, but top 4 or 5.
He's been getting okay. And how section just won by 15 seconds. They're 30 seconds ahead of third place right
I'm
now.
not saying
Yeah, and
I'm just saying
Sexton
he's
couldn't
not
They're
pass
mailing
Webb
mailing
in.
it
this week.
in.
He's
They're
Sexton couldn't
mailing it
pass
in.
Webb.
No, those two are battling it out. I'm just saying everyone else behind those guys is they're just mailing it in, trying to make sure they survive.
So
That's it.
I guess the whole
consistent.
Roxon J Coop AP battle was a mailing
So
it in.
so we have some big Frenchie lovers over here. Ferrandis
Oh God, dude, I'm not even.
having a hell of a
I'm not even
ride.
saying fucking dude. Jesus, fucking pet you through your ass, but
All
I'm
right,
saying
so
he's into that.
Ferrandis, what do you get? He got a fourth in a heat race. Holy sh!
Hey, dude, he was
Over to
on the
Heat
box,
2.
man. Hey, he's beating the factory Honda out there. That's for sure.
Speaking of something impressive, Jay Coop gets the win. Heat number 2 looked fucking unreal. Passed both Sexton and AP. That's where we saw that split session going crazy. Sexton just looked way off the entire heat. Malcolm Stewart, Savachi, McElrath, Bloss, Clayson, Mitchell Harrison rounded out. Justin, we'll go to you. Heat number 2. Hey, Jay Coop looked fucking great.
God, that goddamn Blue Crew power coming out of a corner is unstoppable. Holy shit.
Then
He was making that out.
how come he doesn't blitz the whoops then?
Yeah, because he's a fucking pussy, dude. He needs to
Sure.
fucking toughen it out and just fucking blitz him, dude. I don't know what's his problem with fucking blitzing Woods. I
Because
don't
he
know,
just
but
won the heat race. That's why he doesn't blitz whoops, because he doesn't have to, clearly.
yeah, hey, his fastest lap was he was 0.3 seconds faster than anyone in that heat race. So, but
Yep.
I looked at the splits earlier in the heat race for Jay Coop that in those sector times he was making up almost a second just in that he's carrying so much speed into that first corner. He was about a second faster than everyone else on the track through those
Dude,
sectors,
it was
pretty
that
much
S section.
consistently. Yeah, it was
The
just
entire thing. He was just railing the inside of that berm fucking
and
wide open.
it really showed coming off that berm, that full speed coming into that corner. You carried so much momentum. He could probably just like kind of pull that clutch and then let it freewheel through that corner, carrying all that speed,
Right.
and allowed it to get, I mean, he made Sexton look like he was standing still. He just went right by Sexton in that first
Yeah.
corner and through that rhythm section.
Yeah, section just look way out of it. How about you, Zach? I know no Ferrandis in heat number 2, but who stood out to
Ah,
you?
dang it, I didn't pay attention to these two then. Yeah, I just want to admit that. So, no, Sexton kind of stood out to me. He really did have me super fucking worried going into the
Yeah.
main event.
He did not look good. I
Yeah,
was just like, what the fuck just happened between, like, maybe he was just waking up from his nap or something, because going past
Fuck.
his qualifier to that, I was like,
yeah,
what happened?
yeah. I have no clue, but it looked like he was riding timid almost, not to, he just wanted to make it into the main event. Like, didn't really care to win the fucking heat race or anything like that. Just wanted to make it to
Yeah.
the main. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the biggest thing that stood out to me. I don't really pay
Well,
attention to J Coop. So
it was weird though in that heat because Sexton went and passed like Jay Coop and got his way into second, and
Mm-hmm.
then he got passed and dropped. So it
Yep.
wasn't like he had a horrible start or he instantly started dropping back right away. He moved up and then dropped back. So that's what's concerning. And even after the finish, like he kind of rolled off and he just looked like what the fuck's wrong with Sexton? Like that was weird.
Yeah, yeah, definitely an odd race. All right, that's it as far as the heat races. Going over into the LCQ, Aiden Shiv gets the win. Impressive. Vincent Lahovey, Bryce Shellen, Justin Rodbelt, Crockett Myers rounded out. But Justin, we'll go with you, 250 LCQ. Shout out to Aiden Shiv. I think he actually made his first main earlier this year. And then to go out there and win an LCQ to get in again, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced Shive, not Shiv. Just so that way we
Well,
don't get
I did
that
some
way
time,
that
so we're gonna say
that
Shiv.
easy.
that that way we don't want to be like Ricky, mispronouncing Dayton or Daxton Braggs.
Okay,
So
that's
but
different because there's not even an A in his last name. This is Shiv or Shive. I mean, flip a
hey
coin.
man, watch the race, man. But no, I think that last position battle for the transfer spot got pretty good towards the end. Rod Bell
Yeah.
sneaked it in. The guy who was in fifth, or yeah, fifth, he was all pissed. Or no, I don't even think it was Crockett Myers. It was someone else that was behind them. Was all pissed, like slamming his fist down or something like that. And I was like, "Well, dude, it's LCQ. You better made a fucking move."
I think
So
one of the guys like gave it away. He had the opportunity and he missed out on it.
yeah.
Um, Zach going into 450 LCQ. Freddie Noren, Jeremy Hand, Kevin Moran's, Grant Harlan to make the cut. Yeah, another 450 LCQ. Nothing really crazy kind of popped out. Good to see Grant Harlan back out there, but yeah, I mean, rough season for him.
Yeah, I fucking. I'm pretty sure wasn't he like pretty consistently making mains last year or
couple
He was
years ago. He was
he
solid.
was
Yeah,
he was
He
almost a
got
top
number
10 guy.
23.
yeah,
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
almost a consistent top
national
10 guy
number.
for a little bit.
I couldn't remember if it was last year or the year before, but yeah, good to see him back up there. But nothing really popped out main event wise. I mean, Jeremy Han, he had a good race the last couple weeks, and see him back in LCQ is kind of, I don't know, I guess surprising, but not surprising.
Yeah,
It is what it is. But
yeah,
It's
not
just,
sure.
dude,
He's
these LCQs, I'd love to see what the stats are of like the top six, how many times like they've interchanged, the order of what these guys like every week we talk about. It's like the same 6, 7 guys just,
yeah,
swapping places. So it'd be interesting to see what like the top couple percentage of, who's making it in out of those, mix.
mm,
Because it just seems like every week we always talk about, well, this guy too, well, instead of this guy winning, he got third and this guy won instead. So
yeah.
I mean, there's not much parity really in that 450 LCQ. It's just the top 6 guys. Everyone else is racing for fucking eighth and back.
Yeah, throw their name in a hat, pull them out. But speaking of these LCQs, so reminder next Friday, this Friday, however you want to look at it, is the Denver LCQ race.
Yeah,
So
pulp
that'll be
race.
cool. Go onto the Pole website, buy those raffle tickets, chance for you to win a Yamaha 450. That would be cool. I always participate, but just a good cause for the privateers. It should be streaming live on Verb Moto's YouTube as well, so check that out. It'd be cool. But it's always a good race. They always make it fun and interesting.
Do you
Um,
know? Do you know if they raised the $7,700 for Chiz to run the 77 for
I don't,
Robin?
I don't, I don't know. I'm sure they'll go over it tomorrow on the show, but it sounded like they were really close already. It sounded like they were
Yeah,
like
I'm sure he would.
6,000. Yeah,
yeah. We got to hit up Pulp and see if we can get in on a prop bet for whoever goes
I
seven. If
messaged
anyone
him.
goes
I
seven
messaged him. He
seven.
didn't respond. So, because yeah, that's what I was
Wow,
thinking. Someone that goes 7-7, like $200, or if no one goes 7-7, then whoever gets
it's
seven first moto,
seventh.
seven second moto, get $100 each, kind of something like that.
Yeah,
So we'll see. I don't know. I messaged him. We'll see if he gets back. All right. Over to the 250 main event. I mean, damn. I mean, if you listened to last week's show, we went in on Vial pretty hard. You
yeah,
know, I'm definitely guilty. Said he wasn't deserving of it. He wasn't going to make a win, and sure as shit, I don't know. Maybe he heard, maybe he was listening, but Zach, he got fired up, and of course, Tom Vial gets his first win of the season. RJ Hampshire fourth, Hammaker fifth. To be honest, last week I'm pretty sure I was joking around and said watch Vial win and Hammaker and Hymas get fit, or Hammaker and RJ get fifth and sixth.
yeah.
But shit, here we go.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely I think we should take the credit for Vial getting this win. That's for sure. Guarantee this guy watches the pod, and we lit the fire under his ass to get it going. But I will say with his win, man, good freaking race on him because Thrasher looked good. That for what he passed him,
Yeah,
a minute or 2 minutes left or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Thrasher looked good the entire time, and good for Vial to keep going and not just let him have the fucking win. But I said last week I thought Hammaker had it. I thought after his heat race for sure I thought he was gonna have it. Um,
really bad start.
that start
Really bad start for
horrible.
Hammaker.
He said he spun even on the off the gate, off the grade or whatever you want to call it. He spun off that. And holy shit, did he save his main event?
Yeah, he did.
He got slammed by that dude. 195. What's his name?
It was
Dude, it
It
was
was Lance Kobush. They
his
collected up, dude, and
Yeah.
his
fucking
fucking
he saved it.
his handlebar though. His handlebar was a harder hit on Hammaker than the rest of it, dude. He fucking ate that shit right to the.
Dude.
Hey, dude, so he takes that handlebar right to the fucking chin, dude, and he's in the middle of a fucking rhythm section, right after the main
Rolling.
event, dude, and he's just fucking rolling all
Dude,
over the fucking.
left, right.
No
Did you?
care for the word. I'm like,
Did
oh my
yeah,
god.
dude. He went right, dude, and almost fell because he's trying to fix his helmet because his helmet was fucking sideways on his face, dude, and he almost went down again. And then
Yeah.
the next lap, dude, fucking Hardy Munoz, fucking Hammaker jumps and goes right, and Hardy almost lands right
I
the fuck on
landed
top
on him.
of him.
Hey,
I'm like, oh, I was like, oh my god, no! I'm like,
Yeah.
paralyzed Hammaker, no,
and,
dude, this is the Mitch curse.
yeah, to go from 17th to 5th, I think, right?
Oh yeah, dude, he was almost last. He
Dude.
had to have been after that shit.
The way to save your shot for a championship right there. I mean, way to just muscle through it and do that shit. That's fucking badass.
Yeah, we'll get into the points are even more interesting
Yeah.
now. We'll get into it there at the end.
And
But yeah, Justin, I mean, shit, Viala gets it done. I mean, he it was a tough track. It was impressive. You can't take anything away from him. But I mean, shit, just when you thought things were kind of getting separated, here we go again. Vial showed why he's a defending champ.
yeah, it was pretty funny while watching it when Vial won. I'm like, damn, dude, these guys we're all talking about how, Vial hasn't won. What the fuck Vial is doing? Does he deserve it? And then shit, he fucking pulls it together and fucking
Hmm.
wins, and everyone else, yard sales, RJ, he made that mistake and fucking went down, and that cost him at least a point or two.
that
It
was
cost him that third,
that
so
was
that's
weird
a huge,
because he was trying to pass that lapper and went left.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I think great ride by Hammaker to salvage what he could. I don't know how he stayed alive in that fucking first rhythm section. But it was just sick racing. I mean, Thrasher got that whole shot. Thrasher was one of the only guys blitzing the whoops.
Mhm.
I think the whoops were the biggest separator throughout the night. I mean, if you could blitz those whoops, it was so much faster.
But
Than jumping
but it
through them.
wasn't though. You look
It
at
was
both main events. The guy that was blitzing it didn't win.
What's the split
well,
section?
it was at the beginning, and then they got rough.
For that section,
Yes.
what are the split section times?
The split
I mean,
sections.
like how they break the section times down.
Yeah.
Can you pull?
Yeah, I can pull it up. I can pull it up real quick. Let me pull it up real quick. I
Yeah,
know.
because if
Yeah,
the
so
Wolves blitzing it was a determining factor like it was last week, well, then Thrasher would have taken off. But that wasn't the case because Tom Vial won and he didn't
Yeah,
blitz the
but
Wolves
every
ever.
lap through the whoops, though, Thrasher would pull a half second on him right there. Like he would pull out further away from him, and then Tom would reel him back in a different section of the track.
so Thrasher in the woods was point 0.2 seconds faster than anyone else in that section through the woods for the whole race. Vial was point 0.6
So,
seconds.
so,
Vial
so
was
if
point
anything,
0.6
it tells
seconds
you.
slower. It's Vial's fastest time through that sector was point 0.6 seconds slower than.
So if anything, it tells you the Wolves literally didn't matter because he was
Well,
faster than Vial
Yeah,
in that section. Vial still beat him.
but we're just putting out the fact that blitzing the whoops is faster. You're arguing with us that blitzing the whoops ain't faster.
yeah,
It is.
the woods was
No,
way faster.
what
Thrasher
I'm
Thrasher
arguing is
was
that Justin said that it was such an advantage to blitz the Wolves, but we watched the main event. Tom Vial did not blitz the Wolves and he won, so
well.
blitzing
Yeah,
was
but
not
It
that
was
big of
it,
an
it was
advantage.
it was an advantage to blitz the woods if you did, but the rest of the track for Thrasher wasn't good enough to keep up Vial. Blitzing the woods was a big deal that kept
I'm just
Thrasher
saying,
out
like
ahead throughout the race.
we
I'm
saw
going
last week what blitzing the Wolves as an advantage looked like. Sexton absolutely smoked Webb because Webb couldn't blitz him.
okay, but
Like I
Well,
said,
also if
no, I saw something.
doesn't blitz
and
the whoops,
looking,
if Thrasher doesn't blitz the whoops, he gets passed by Vial with 10 minutes to go. Not
he's probably still getting
100%.
second place. He's still getting
No, he's
second
not.
place. So what? Thrasher led a couple laps because he blitzed the Whoops.
I think,
Sweet.
dude, 0.6 seconds a lap, like that's
That's
huge.
huge, dude.
That's fucking huge.
All I'm saying, Justin said that this was a separator in the race, and it wasn't because he didn't win.
But we're
It was a
saying
separator because that's what
I
kept him
know.
out front for
my
12 and
point
a
is
half
it let him
He
minutes.
still
that
lost.
race.
It wasn't that big of a separator if he lost. Whoops are usually like if you're blitzing the whoops and jump, it's a big difference, and
It was.
it didn't
It's
make
not
a
my
difference.
Over half a second.
Yeah. It's not my fault Thrasher can't fucking hit a rhythm section
No,
or
he said
whatever.
point 0.2. He said 0.2 seconds.
Compared to everyone
No,
else.
point
But
six, point
Vial,
six,
Vial to 3
point six.
0.6.
Yes.
Yeah. To me, that look, like I said, like that's great. If he was that much faster than Whoops and he still didn't win, that he was half a second faster on that part of the track, and he still lost. That tells me they didn't play that big of a factor. The rest of
And
the
he
track
still
They're
did,
saying it played a factor for him to hold the lead that long.
but he didn't win.
if
I guess
if
I
but
mean, I
that's
don't
not
know.
the argument. If
I don't
dude,
know.
hey,
I look at the end results.
it don't
I
matter
look at the end
whoever finished.
results.
Hey, none of this
Uh,
shit matters unless they finish first.
So
all I'm
For
saying was
anything,
blitzing the whoops did not determine whether you're winning the race or not. That's all I'm saying. Clearly,
yeah,
I'm just saying
yeah.
if Vial blitzed the woods like Thrasher did, Vial would have won by fucking 15
he didn't have
seconds.
to. He didn't have to blitz
Because
the
he
whoops because it didn't
can't.
make that big of a difference.
He fucking can't.
He
Fucking
didn't have
that
to.
that fucking Frenchman can't fucking hit a whoop section and say
He
he's
didn't
fucking
have to.
lying.
He didn't have to blitz to win. That's my point. Is that this track blitzing the whoops didn't determine whether you win or lost because Bial never blitzed him and he still won. And Thrasher blitzed him all the time and he lost.
I'm just
But yeah,
saying,
he
what's
was
in the
faster in
woods
that
was
one
huge.
section. That's great, but it didn't determine who was going to win the race like it did last week when Sexton won by 15 fucking seconds by what's in the woods.
But that wasn't the dude. Sexton made up 4 seconds just in the little double section from after the triple to the finish line last week in East Rutherford. So that's a lot of time just in that little bit. So I mean, yeah, woods are huge, but also Sexton was making up so much ground last week, anyways.
Well, just saying, there's a big difference there. So Vial gets the win, like we said. Thrasher with a second. Maxwell, I mean, like Zach said, I mean, huge club MX fans. You know, he was solid all day long, and yeah, to get that third place was sick.
Oh, absolutely. First podium, for his career. That's badass. And dude, shout out to club because him and Shank are having great years this year. I'm saying,
Yeah. Yep.
you know what I mean.
Blue Crew.
They're not competing for the shit, but great years for both of them, and the team is just keeps making strides forward, which is sick to see because I want to see as many good teams out in the championship as we can see. So
Yeah, I mean, it won't be long for Club to get the first main event win. I mean, they're getting some of these second chance, riders like the Maximus Volan that, rode for Factory, had the speed, but kept getting hurt, and they're coming over here. I mean, they're
Oh,
bound to win
well,
a main
shit,
event
dude.
here soon with the
Dude,
talent they're getting.
they had Jeremy Martin, a 2-time outdoor champ, ride for them. I mean, they're
At
obviously
the
doing
end of
something
his career,
right.
though,
But I mean, Martin still had some speed. He just fucking crashed and killed
he
himself,
wasn't
fucking like
winning at
always.
Club. He was never going to win a main event at Club.
I think the best shot they had this year was Shock with that Triple Crown.
Yep.
Yeah.
He kind of fucked.
But yeah, I mean they're bound to get it. I mean we talked about rumors, Jason Anderson might be going over there, but as these more teams like Triumph and Ducati start opening up, you're gonna see a lot more of these, names go over to Club, and who knows, maybe Club does step up and really, make that factory spot.
Well, there's been rumors. I think before KTM ran into their whole financial situation, I think there was rumors that Club was supposed to be switching to KTM, and they were going to be running the factory 250
That's
effort
what
for a little bit. But after the financials, I think Blue Crew re-signed them and upped them up. And I mean, Blue Crew just a great starter bike, from the base. Blue Crew, bike
Uh,
of champions.
Zach, we'll go over to you. Just bike of not hitting the lagoon jump in Lake Havasu.
oh,
Um,
No,
we're listening. Oh,
over to Zach for not showing
let's
up to the
go.
Havasu race.
Over to Zach. I know you've been chomping at the bit. Austin Faulkner, 15th.
I I don't.
He did hit the deck, but
Yeah, he did.
I don't know.
Yeah, he did. He fucking hit the deck right next to
That's what I
Hamilton,
said.
dude.
He did hit the deck.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you said he didn't.
Up for sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
fucking Moto GP, dude. Get him a fucking street bike,
I
dude. He fucking looks like he's wearing one of those suits every time he
don't get
races,
it, bro.
dude.
Like you get a good ass qualifier, you get a good heat race in, and you go out to the main dog shit start. I seen him back with Hammaker. That's what pops in my head. I seen Hammaker with that fuck up, and I'm like, oh shit, there goes Faulkner, fucking in the back of the pack again. Like, dude,
Yeah, 13th after the first lap for Fortner.
yeah, I
Like,
was
what the
Dude,
fuck, dude?
Faulkner
fucking get it.
Faulkner has been the biggest letdown ever. We were so high on him for the title at the beginning of the year and the speed that he was going to come in, and I'm like,
I literally
it
said
hasn't been so far off
first pod. I
as it has
literally
been.
said I thought that was going to be a great move for him to go to Triumph. I thought it was going to rejuvenate him and fucking shove my foot in my fucking mouth.
Dude, I picked him to win the
Yeah,
fucking title, dude. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh God, yeah, dude. I just I can't believe it. I don't know. I'm scared shitless for him for outdoors. I hope he doesn't line up.
Dude, A Star better fucking tell Fortner every time you blow up one of these fucking airbags, dude, we're deducting it from your fucking check, dude, because you're costing us too much money. You're going over budget. I don't think there's been a race this year that Fortner hasn't blown up a fucking airbag, at least between qualifying, a heat race, or a main. I think he's blown one up every single weekend.
and I don't even want to talk shit on the guy because like I said, I thought for sure he was going to turn it around this year, and I was stoked for it. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
ugh.
A lot of people were. I mean, they know how fast he is, and they thought maybe that PC was a good change. But I mean, he had that crazy surgery, and that's like I don't know. We'll see outdoors, but I'm scared shitless for him out there. It's gonna be like that Talladega Nights when he's gets back on the track after he's wrecked. I'm going fast again. He's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like,
Holy shit! What are
yeah.
those things,
That's
Ricky?
what I
You're
feel
doing
like is gonna happen.
Ricky. You're doing 25 miles an
Yeah.
hour.
For real, dude. That's what if it's this bad in Supercross, outdoors is gonna be fucking
All
ugly,
right, hey,
dude.
so now we know what we gotta do. We gotta fucking get a Triumph fucking street bike or something and tape a fucking kilo of fucking Fruit Loops to the fucking thing and say the cops are coming and make them go fast again.
All I'm saying is, Austin Faulkner, just don't line up for outdoors. Take some time with your family. We'll try
Or
again
fucking
next year.
dude, make sure you got a fucking extra airbag in
Where
the fucking
where
pit
do
so you can make a
where do you
pit
go
stop
from
and
here?
change it halfway.
If you're Faulkner, where do you go from?
Retirement.
Do you keep trying? Do you become a
No, dude.
riding coach? Do you?
I go straight into my wife's arms, dude. I don't leave
Hey,
ever,
hey, he ain't going for his arms right now. He
ever.
ain't going for her arms.
Huh.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
So let's go into this 250 title. I mean, damn. Val made us look like a fucking bunch of clowns. Which, hey, you know what, Val? You're welcome, by the way, because apparently that's what you fucking needed.
Yeah.
So Vial, here we go, 160. He has a fucking red plate now.
Yeah.
There you go, red plate.
I'm glad. I'm glad he made us sound dumb because now going into the last like picture this
Got
last
even
race of
better.
the year, everyone's within 3 points of each other. Vial now has
Yep.
the red plate and a fucking East-West shootout. This is what movies are made of. I'm fucking stoked for it.
So here's the thing. Basically, I mean, with these three, it's going to come down to if any of these three win Utah, they win the title. Because even if
It
Hammaker wins, that gets him 160, and I think he still has a tiebreaker for most wins
it's
over
winner
a
take
Hammaker,
all.
maybe.
It's
So
winner
okay,
take
so
all.
here's with that being said, do you think that let's say Deegan goes out and wins this weekend, right? Kind of has the title wrapped up for West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that he pushes it in Salt Lake and tries to win, or do you think it's those three kind of up front? Because with the West Coast being involved, this is a massive fucking shakeup. I mean,
Well, I think if it go Deegan does end up wrap it up. Say Davies has a bad race, so does Bomer, and Deegan wraps it up this weekend. I mean, I still think Deegan's going to try to push, but not as hard. So I think Deegan's going to be like a top 3 guy maybe in Salt Lake. I
Well,
think
we'll see what
Davies,
happens this
Davies, I
weekend.
think, I think Davies may be the favorite for like Salt Lake. But I mean, the question is what are the other teams? I mean, there's not really any other Husky riders to help Hampshire. There's not really any other KTM riders to help Vial. Like Bomer's gonna have to get a great start.
why
But
don't
Hammaker's
see
got some
any able to
PC
help them?
guys that can kind of run up though. Like if March Banks gets a good start, top 5, he can hold that back Hampshire and Vial for a little bit if Hammaker's out front. So I think PC's team in the final round,
PC
depending
doesn't
on where
have
they
anyone
start,
out
could
there
help.
riding.
He's got Marchbanks at least, I mean, at least Marchbanks can get a top 5 start and has proved that a little bit this year. And you never know with RJ and fucking Vial. RJ might fucking go head first like his home plate dude into the first corner again.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as clear cut as RJ wins then, right? Because the win puts him at he's got that 3 points, but Hamburger is 2 points ahead of RJ, so it could kind of change
Well,
some things out
it's
there.
it's it's a literally winner takes all. If Hampshire wins the race, it's over. He'll be up by
Yeah,
1 point.
but with the West Coast, I mean that's what's going to make it interesting. But I think this weekend will determine what we'll see in Salt Lake because
Okay,
if
yeah.
Deegan goes out, wins, puts another because what Deegan's up
So hold
12
on.
points, I think, right now.
What happens? What
17.
happens if Hammaker wins and Vial
Yeah,
gets second? They're tied.
He still wins though. It's a 3 point
most
difference.
wins. Yeah.
Well, no, because let's see, Hammaker is only down 1 point, so if he wins, he's up 2 points no matter
Oh,
what on
I
Vial.
thought he was 3 points down, or is Hammaker?
Hampshire is
That's
three
where he
points
gets.
down.
So
So
if Hampshire wins, he gets 3 points. But like Hammaker, that's what I was saying. Like there's only 2 point difference there. But I think like you said, I think there's no way these guys are going to finish 1, 2, 3. I think there's going to be a wrench that's going to be thrown in there. It's going to be a winner take all scenario, just like we saw last year. But
Mhm.
I think this weekend will kind of determine what we see in Salt Lake. I don't think Deegan's really going to push it and risk, losing.
Eh,
I don't think he cares about the whole Cole Davies deal. But
Do
yeah, I
you
mean, I
know
think we'll
how?
see this weekend.
Do you know how the second tiebreaker works? Because if Hampshire wins this weekend, him and Hammaker will both have 2 wins.
It'll come down to
So,
who won this most recent
oh
one.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, because it's a 2 point. Never mind. I was just
Yeah.
trying to think of what the tiebreakers would be. So yeah, literally, it's winner takes all for these guys. And like you said, I don't see them finishing 1, 2, 3.
I think
Yeah.
at this point we have to fucking do a live video of us watching the race.
That would be cool if we could figure out how to set. I don't know how you would. It's still doing the whole like screen and screen so that they can see it while you're seeing it. So you have to do some homework on that.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe.
But
Well, you're the tech guy, dude. Call into your fucking work, dude, and be like, hey, we need a fucking satellite. We need this. Fucking hook us up with some
So dumb, so I
4K.
don't sell fucking phones.
Not
right.
you.
All right. So let's go to this two for the East. So it's winner take all going into Utah. Justin, we'll start with you. Who's gonna win this two for the East title?
Give me Hammaker. I still got faith in him. I think
Okay.
RJ's just gonna. I mean, RJ had a real opportunity this week to kind of get a points gap with him even starting, top five and Hammaker, being buried in the pack. He could have easily worked his way up to third, maybe even a second, and he fucking ate shit and fucking let Rowland get past him and cost him some big points right there.
Well,
So,
to be fair, Hampshire clearly isn't healthy. It doesn't sound like he'll be riding outdoor this season with his wrist injury too. So
but he's
RJ
not
isn't.
racing. He's not racing outdoors because his wrist injury from before the season.
No, it doesn't sound like it. It
The
sounds like he's gonna
fuck,
get surgery.
fucking pussy.
Boys gonna get
Yeah.
stupid.
So
450 Super.
yeah. So RJ's still. So he's dealing with his wrist. But yeah, from what it sounds like, it's based off what I heard through the pulp and everything is that RJ is saying that it's not going to get any better, not do anything to it. And he said outdoors right now, it's just not going to happen. So we won't see RJ in outdoors. That's what it sounds like to me. But he's definitely not 100%. But yeah, Justin, I'd have to lean with you. You have to go Hammaker. Hampshire isn't healthy. Tom VL hasn't shown the consistency. I think it's Hammaker's to lose, but you never know. RJ was in this situation last year, Zach, versus Levi Kitchen. That Levi was rock solid, and some guys just crumble when the pressure is on like this.
Yeah, dude, it's so hard to say because it's been such a good honestly East Coast has been so good this year. Uh,
Don't you dare say it sucks someone has to lose this title, because I will kick you out of this
yeah,
chat right now.
dude.
The
I'm just saying it's hard
we
for me to say
we
because
we
it's
ain't,
not
we
good.
It
ain't
sucks
participate.
someone has to
We're,
lose.
this ain't participation. You got to earn
No,
this
but
Such a
shit.
if
such
I
a great season.
based on the last couple rounds, as well as the last couple East West shootouts, I think Hammaker gets it done. He's the only one that's won one of the East West shootouts,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, he had a great ride this past weekend, which I thought his ride was better than RJ's. I thought RJ looked pretty flat this weekend. So I would say that's kind of showed me more that he was hungrier than RJ was. So I'll lean Hammaker on it.
Well,
Yeah.
Hammaker came out, dude. That heat race by Hammaker, he got that whole shot, and you could tell from the start he's making a statement, dude. He
Yeah,
was fucking ripping, dude. I mean, he had like a 3 second lead by like the second lap or something like that. Like he was gone,
yeah.
and it was
I
just
think
like
he knows he has the speed over Vial. He knows he's got this, at least the same speed as RJ. But
Yeah.
I just think that he wants it and he's gonna get it done.
it's
Yeah.
weird to
He's like a
think
great starter too.
Mm-hmm.
if Hammaker wins this title, it's gonna be the first PC title in 8 years indoors. That's just weird to think. It's been 8 years since PC has won an indoor Supercross title, and from the late '90s to 2015, they were winning at least one, if not both, Supercross titles for lights class
Yeah,
every single year. It's just crazy. I mean, at one point, in the Vegas shootouts and stuff like that, they were fucking top 5.
Yeah,
Their whole
and
team. Like it,
you know damn well if they win, Mitch gonna get turned the fuck up.
yeah, yeah. Mitch gonna fucking go wild. He might start walking, dude. Fucking Jesus has been resurrected, dude.
All right. All right. Well, there we go. I don't know why. I just had this sick feeling in my stomach that Viala's going to pull this off somehow. But we'll find out. But I just had this really nasty
Oh,
aftertaste.
You threw
Viala
hey,
just choking,
hey,
just grabbing
hey,
onto my fucking
hey,
Adam's apple right now, saying, "Ah,
everyone,
dude."
everyone's gonna come for us in the comments, like you motherfuckers. He did deserve it. He won the fucking race, and then he fucking won the title. Everyone's gonna come
That
for
might be
us.
that might be the end of the podcast.
Yeah. I did see it's the first time there's been 7 different Supercross winners or something like that in
Yeah,
a
you know,
regional in East
yep,
Coast. There's,
yeah,
I
it's
mean, that's crazy
insane.
to think. That's wild.
It's almost one new winner per fucking
I think
race.
I think Hammaker's the only
he's
multi
on
winner
all two
in
right
East Coast.
Yeah, that's crazy. Um, all right. Well, yeah, I mean the 250 East is gonna be sick. Exactly what we were hoping for going into it. Bial threw his name in the hat, so yeah, it's winner take all of there. So it's gonna be interesting. Um, okay, on to a 450 main event. I mean, man, this was sick. Cooper Webb gets the job done. Starting it off fresh out of the gate, Cooper Webb, we heard his post race conference talking about how he got finger banged. Cooper Webb, I'm calling you out. There is no other moto podcast that talked about finger banging last weekend, at least that I heard. So it had to have came from here. So give us some love if that's where it was. But I mean,
Yeah,
coincidence or not, we
yeah,
need to know.
yeah, Coop, let us know. Shout us out at Crossroaded, dude. I know these two fuckers were laughing at me for fucking. Everyone was laughing at me about finger bang, but that shit was so funny. You dropped it in the fucking press conference. So fucking, dude, we're going viral with that shit. And there ain't, like Eric said, there ain't no damn way you didn't fucking see that from anyone
Mm-mm.
else. There
No,
ain't
that
no
that's
way.
just way too coincidence the week after. And that wasn't like it's not something that we like planned, like it's just some dumb that you said and we just just care. So
Like most of the shit I said, dumb.
they had to see it had a circle to it, so if he did, give us some love 'cause that shit was funny as hell. Um
We gotta
but
send him a
yeah.
DM. Send him a DM and be like, "Hey, Coop, did you see our podcast? Did this
now.
clip get around to you?"
I think it's sick
For,
that he's the only rider out there though saying shit like that on the press conference
yeah.
and stuff like just.
Like,
I think it's badass to show like his actual self. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no. Then he did the whole like daddy like carrying the baby like afterwards too. So yeah, I mean, it's so funny because of course like he has to talk about it at the press conference with Sexton literally fucking
That's
6 inches to the right of him.
dude, did you see the reaction post? That someone posted the facial reactions after he said finger bang, and
Oh
Sexton
yeah.
was all like, "What the fuck?" And Jacob was like, "Damn, dude, he fucking said it." I was like, God, I would love to be a fucking fly in that room to fucking hear that, dude. That'd
That's
be so
so
funny.
funny, dude. It had so yeah, whatever. Funny ass one liner, but you can't convince me otherwise. He definitely saw that. But Zach, yeah, I mean Cooper Webb. We talked about last week. Hey, whoever wins this race was going to be who's going to win the title, and I thought Sexton had the upper hand based off how the track looked. But I mean, I don't know when those loops went away, that was it for Sexton because when he wasn't able to skim them anymore, that's when it really turned into Coop's favor. Zach, go ahead.
douche. Uh, honest, flawless race from Cooper Webb. I mean, start to finish, looked great. Speed was there all day. I called it last week too. I thought Sexton had the upper hand going into the weekend, and Cooper answered the call, man. I mean, not much you can say about it.
And nothing against Sexton. He
No,
rode fucking
I
great.
thought
Like
he
he
had a
didn't
great
throw
race
it
too.
away. He
There's
didn't like
no,
he made some mistakes here and there. It was a tough track, but I mean clearly you saw as soon as he stopped skimming is when he sucked at jumping. But like it
Oh,
wasn't
dude,
Sexton. He didn't throw it away. Like Webb just rode really good. Sexton pushed in on him multiple times, Justin, but Webb just rode fucking great.
Yeah,
I think Webb did exactly what he was supposed to do. I mean, off the start, he ran it a little bit deeper to cut off Sexton, to make sure he could fucking get that whole shot. And it almost like Webb just managed. I didn't see Webb like struggling or, like forcing mistakes, because he was under pressure. He kind of just stayed doing the same thing consistently over the whole thing. When Sexton started jumping the whoops, it looked like he spun off of one of those whoops and almost went
Mm-hmm.
end over and fucking off the track, and he's very lucky. Normally Sexton of the past would have fucking ended up dead on the fucking in between two whoops, but I mean, I think just as a championship standpoint, I mean, we couldn't ask for a better race. The top two guys literally within almost a second and a half the whole race. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it was just great to watch. I was waiting for someone to make, a huge mistake or Sexton to run it deep. Like, there's multiple times Sexton was almost touching Webb's rear tire in a lot
Yeah.
of these corners. And
Well, even the very
I,
first turn, we saw Webb. He brake checked him,
yeah.
well, I
and
think
that
so.
higher
I
the
think
lift up, he
that's
fucking brake checked his
that's
ass. Yeah.
that's so smart though. That's just like knowing, being a champion, knowing what you're supposed to do. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
everyone's coming into this corner hot. Everyone's close. If I stop a little bit, it's gonna back fucking everyone up. And I'm surprised there wasn't like a huge crash in that corner where like 4 or 5 guys went down because
Well,
it was
that's
a
what I'm
it
saying.
was a quick
It's
stop.
it's knowing who's behind you, right? It's fucking Sexton. It worked in fucking Texas when he hit his brakes and Sexton drilled his tire. So yeah, I mean, Webb's racecraft is just fucking insane. And yeah, everyone saw it. He checked him up just to see if maybe he can get him to drop that front. But yeah, I mean, really impressive. Sexton gets second. I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll talk about the points later. But Justin Cooper, Zach, fuck, he's not blitzing the loose, so he just got a podium.
1 second, hold on. Sorry, you have to go to Justin. Come back.
All right.
But
No,
yeah, Justin.
Jake. Yeah, J Coop. I mean, great ride by J Coop. I mean, I think after that heat race, seeing what he could do, I was almost thinking. I mean, after what Sexton did in the heat race, I was almost concerned that maybe like Sexton was gonna finish like a fifth or sixth place because, I mean, you really don't see Sexton like that in a heat race. Normally, Sexton's up front running away with a heat race, and for him to finish, get past, finish third, and the way JQ looked, I was almost thinking it was gonna be a Star Yamaha 1-2. So it's good to see Sexton come back, but Jake Coop was like fifth and worked his way up slowly and surely, and
Yeah,
you
I mean,
know,
I think this is based off of how I see him in this heat race, but I think this is one of those if Jay Coop maybe would have gotten a better start or a whole shot, this track might have been perfect for him to win. I mean, he had the split section that he was railing. This track turned down to jumpers. He had that like 3-3-4 rhythm going through him too. So
Mhm.
if he gets a better start, this might have been Jay Coop's first win, but he gets a podium. But still super impressive. Another one, he was just kind of solid, start to finish.
Yeah, impressive for J Coop. J Coop, I feel like on the 450 is really kind of finding, getting comfy on a Supercross track. We all know J Coop outdoors, he can hang, with some of the best of them, but Supercross, on the 450, he was really struggling, the last year and a half on it. And for him to
Yeah.
be putting some consistent rides, I mean, he's just got to learn how to blitz some whoops. I think if J Coop learned how to blitz some whoops, his season would be way better than it is now.
Well, so here's the thing too, right? We talked about it last week, right? Why isn't Star, signing Yamaha? Why isn't Star signing, or why isn't Star, signing Eli? Why aren't they sending money there? Well, look at this. We're 15 rounds in, and you got Cooper Webb 1, Justin Cooper 3, and Eli Tomac's not on the board for the second season straight. So at the end of the day, yeah,
Okay, calm down.
Tomac has a lot of value, but there's also value in being at the races too. Like you still got to be out there, you still got to be competing. Um, so that definitely shakes some things up. AP fourth, Malcolm Stewart fifth, Roxon, Ferrandis, Sabachi, Shane McElrath, D Wilson rounds it out. Ugly ride for Christian Craig back into 14th, but Zach, we'll go to you.
Oh,
What
yeah.
else this 450 main event stood out to you?
I think at the end there, Stewart giving it to
Mm-hmm.
him. Um,
Dude, he slammed him. Holy
good,
shit.
yeah.
I did. I don't think Roxon was very happy about it either.
No, I don't think anyone
See,
was
hey,
happy that shit happened, but
I was expecting J Coop to maybe run it in deep on Roxon because Roxon ran it in on J Coop earlier in the main.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Jake Coop was. I mean, once again, Roxon fell back. He looked great in the heat race, and in the main event, he just kind of stumbled backward.
I thought
Into, I kind of expected more from Malcolm too. I thought he was going to be good. I think I put him on the podium as far as my picks goes. But I mean, yeah, Ferrandis with the seventh. Solid. I mean, solid right there. Sabachi, Macrath, Dean Wilson. But yeah, Justin, what about you? What else in this main event?
you can't
I re-
put Stewart on the podium and say he's just mailing it in. You can't have it both ways, Eric.
Stewart hasn't been
yeah.
on the podium in a while. That's all I'm
Not
saying.
since he's
But
in, dude.
I'm just saying, what you threw out Ken Roxon, right? Hey, Roxon's going to get in the mix, all right? Well, Roxon just got six. Jay Coop just got his first vote. That's what I'm saying is mailing it in. Look who's getting third place.
J. Coop.
That's all I'm saying.
It's all we all know is that Blue Crew powered, baby. It's just a bike.
Oh, the just happened to show up at the end of the season, huh? Wasn't there all year.
You need a
Hey, dude, he's been consistent. He's been consistent, dude, on those fucking fourth places. I mean,
Yep.
top five for J Coop is good for 450 Supercross.
Justin, you sound like you need a Yamaha tattoo on your calf.
I'm gonna
Sounds
fucking
like
be a
he already
Kyle,
has
dude.
one.
I'm gonna get a monster sticker, dude, on my back.
Yeah.
Fucking all kinds of shit. Maybe I'll get
Um,
maybe a Fox logo or something. 909 a 909 tattoo. That's what we need, dude. Fucking throwing it old school.
just put a Zen label on your back, a little tramp stamp. All right, going into these 450 standings, Cooper Webb 325. Sexton 313. There's a 12 points swing here with two races to go. Roxon 271 securely has third place. The main title hunt that we've been looking at, that we've been keeping our eyes on, Jay Coop gets a commanding lead over Malcolm Stewart, 241 to 237 with two races to go. I mean, Jay Coop basically has that in the bag, if you ask me. But here we go. 12 points down. I mean, Justin, what is there any percentage, little chance that Sexton can still pull this off?
The only thing Sexton can pray and hope for is just like a few years ago when he won his first Supercross title, that something happens in Denver or Salt Lake and an injury or a bike blows up. There ain't no way Webb is finishing third or worse in these last two races.
Are
Webb
you
has
ever
to finish.
watching? Are you ever watching Supercross again if Webb gets hurt, gets a DNF, and Sexton wins another title?
Of course I'm fucking watching, but it's gonna be like fucking Sexton's eighth title that the fucking main guy has gotten hurt, dude, and he fucking is gifted. He ain't the
Part
fastest
of it,
guy,
dude.
obviously.
You got to be there for all the fucking rounds. It's part of it.
Yeah,
Got to
you
be in
do,
it to
but
win it.
God, dude, I mean, there
Just
ain't
like you
no
were
way
telling
Webb is
Zach at
finishing worse
work.
than
All you
third.
got to do is
Just like
show
you're
up.
going to tell the works.
All you got to do is show up, get a fucking one win at the very end of the fucking season, and wham bam, thank you, ma'am. You got.
All you gotta do is just
Yeah.
don't dab your foot on the ground. That's dirt bike riding 101. They teach you that on PW 50.
Yeah, well, we still don't fucking listen about that at all, but yeah, I mean, Webb winning this week was huge. That's like what we all kind of talked about. Webb winning this week. I mean, it allows that flexibility. He doesn't have to. I mean, even if Sexton wins out, the title is still his. It's 12 points.
Okay, but
So
so what happens though, Zach? We'll go to you. What kind of Webb do we see? Do we see a Sexton goes out, wins these last two, and Webb is still getting second, or do we see Webb maybe kind of coasted in? He throws a third or a fourth out there. We're like,
I say,
whoa.
he can't get a fourth
I
unless he
say
gets like a
this
second or a
weekend
first.
minimum second place, and then that way going into the last round he can just fucking cruise it in third place if he needs to. But I don't
Yeah.
see. I don't care. I don't see anyone else beating these two. Like they're 1 and 2. There's no one else that's the same fucking speed as them when it comes to the main event. Just
And even if it's the final round and say, Sexton or whatever, like J Coop, they're not gonna have J Coop finish in front of Webb if it's like the means of the title. Fucking there better be some team tactics. Fucking let Webb by, hold Sexton up, do something, but there ain't no way, Bobby Reagan might fucking pay Jay Coop $100K for a win bonus if they fucking allow Webb. He whelps Webb win. That title pays a lot more money and a lot more. A lot more status to that title win than Jay Coop just getting a main event win.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's definitely good. We're gonna see, right? I mean, the two for the East, great title in the making. Two for the West is kind of getting out of hand, and then the 450 now too, is almost wrapped up. I mean, you can't really see Cooper Webb thrown away here.
What
Um,
one thing I saw this week with Webb winning and him getting on the podium, Webb now ties James Stewart and Kevin Windham with 75 total podiums, and it was Webb's 30th win.
yeah,
So
see, like, don't get me wrong, okay, those records are great and everything, but fucking these guys are riding so much longer into the careers to where those main events, podiums, wins. Yeah, if you do it long enough, you're gonna start racking them up. I mean, what Villapoto, RC, what those guys retired at what 27 years old? These guys are still 3, 4, 5 years into it too. So like again, the records are great stuff, but to me, they don't hold the weight because all those greats they retired late 20s. We're now what Tomek's 32, about to go line up. Roxon's right there at 30s. I know Webb's right there along the 32. So I mean, the
yeah,
longer you kind of like LeBron in basketball. Yeah, yeah. LeBron's been playing a while. He's going to start breaking records if he play long enough. He's great, but that's
he's a
just me. That's
fucking
what she says,
he's
which
a
is
he's
great.
a
It's great for us, right?
yeah.
Because the greats are
LeBron's a
still riding longer.
LeBron's a fucking crybaby, dude.
All right, let's go to this track map. We're going into Denver. This track is usually hard pack. It's elevation. Kind of has similar vibes to this week, to be honest. Has like kind of like a weird cross section going across the start. Just the one whoop section here. There's a lot of rhythms in here. Kind of look. I don't really see anything too crazy. Another longer start. But Justin, we'll go to you. Anything stand out to you as far as this Denver track?
I think this week there's going to be possibly a couple quads pulled out. That one long rhythm section, I have a feeling there's going to be some quads that these guys are going to pull. Even that first rhythm section, right off the start, I think there possibly could be a quad in there. So it'd be interesting to see if someone does pull out a quad. I was almost kind of hoping maybe someone would have done them this week in Pittsburgh with that really long rhythm section. I'm almost surprised they didn't because they
Yeah,
were
there was no big jumps
like,
this weekend.
well, I mean, even like the triple they were doing coming along the front of that rhythm section this week in Pittsburgh, they were jumping from a 3-footer, tripling up to a 5-footer. So I'm almost wondering, if maybe someone thought about maybe doing a triple quad, launching off of the 5-footer instead of the 3-footer. But I was kind of surprised no one did try to, uncork something that big. I think this week with Deegan being there, I mean, Deegan's going to try to do something, huge, it's just in the last name. Uh, I think the interesting thing, are they going to keep, they have the whoop section before, those 5 set of jumps, right there. So after the whoops, are they going to go triple double? Is it going to be a double triple situation? Are they going to keep that? Are they going to switch it? Because I know earlier in the year they've switched to, either a whoop section after the rhythm or, moved it. So it'd be interesting, but it looks like a track that's going to provide a lot of good racing.
Yeah. Zach, what about you looking at the Denver track map? Anything stand out to you?
No, hold
But yeah, Justin, I agree. I mean, kind of, there's a lot of long rhythms. That right-hander going into the whoops, that's going to be interesting too. They're going to carry some more speed going into it. But yeah, I
Weather
mean,
looks
other than
weather
that,
looks great too. Weather looks good. Right now, as of now, Saturday it's supposed to be a high of 76. Some overcast skies. It's predicting rain on Thursday 40%, and then Monday 50%. So it looks like the storm's going to completely miss them. So we're gonna have probably a true Denver track, fucking dry as shit.
yeah,
Just hard pack. It's gonna be a lot of blue groove probably. It's pretty much similar to Salt Lake every year. So, um, I mean, yeah, I mean, this is definitely gonna be a favorable track for Sexton. with the way the dirt's gonna be. It's kind of weird to think though, like Denver, where they do get a lot of rain, a lot more moisture, snow, that the track is so hard packed.
Yeah.
I just don't I don't know where they're getting their dirt from or if they like truly like store it like indoors or something, but it just is weird to think that like Denver or like even like Salt Lake, like you get a lot of rain and probably quite a bit of snow that the tracks are so dry and so blue grooved. It's not like you're in Vegas. Like Vegas, okay, makes sense. California,
Yeah.
okay, makes sense. But you're in an area where you do have a lot of moisture, a lot of storms come through, so it almost is like curious, where do they store the dirt? Is it stored indoors? Which I don't think so, because both stadiums are outdoors. So it's just a weird factor, to think that that shit's so dry.
Yeah. But I'm with you. I think Sexton's going to have the upper hand these next two rounds. As far as 250, I think I'm going to go with Deegan. I think Deegan's going to want to get another win on the board, just kind of solidify this title hunt and get done. But Justin, we'll go back to you. I know you said it kind of looks like a Sexton track. Obviously, Webb no longer has to win, so Sexton's probably going to be the favorite here. But what are you thinking? Who you got for 250?
250, I want to say Deegan. I'm kind of interested to see how Davies does back on a dry track. I mean, both his wins, he won Seattle, and I think the East-West shootout was obviously East Coast, so a little bit more rutted, softer
We're
dirt.
back on a
Uh,
dry, hard packed track, and you're interested in seeing Davies?
No, I'm just saying I'm interested to see how Davies does because his two wins and like his dominant performances have been on that
What about
softer
Juju?
dirt.
What
So
about your neighbor
fuck,
from up
dude.
the street?
I love to say Juju, but holy shit, dude, you fucking kind of lack the intensity. I
Hey,
mean,
but we're
dude.
back to hard pack.
Yeah.
This could be Glendale, A2, San Diego, all over
Yeah, well,
again.
fucking too late, Juju. You fucked up, dude. You should have fucking, pumped the fucking water from fucking the lake, dude, and Havasu and watered fucking wherever you're riding, dude. A lot fucking more, dude, and get
How
deeper.
how
But
crazy this 250 West title changed once we hit West Coast. Juju was the man. He looked fucking
mm,
unstoppable, and as
after,
soon as we hit the West Coast, he just has been
well,
kind of
well,
non-existent.
as soon as we hit Dallas, dude, since then, dude, it's just been. I wonder if his shoulder, because he did crash in Dallas or whatever, in practice. I wonder if his shoulder may be a little bit more messed up than, because I know they talked banged the shoulder up. I wonder if there's maybe something more than they're really not saying. But I mean, after you went to Arlington, he's not the same at all.
Mm-mm.
I think they came out and not everyone was super prepared. He had a good showing out front, and then everyone else kind of settled in, and he went back to where he kind of like is gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first couple races were tailor-made for him. I mean, he's out there in California. He rides a hard pack, Glen Helen, those
Hmm.
hard tracks. These other guys are out East Coast. They're in Carolinas riding ruddies, and they're going to go ride some hard pack. So yeah, I agree. I think it really took advantage of it because that's what he's been riding to. And as soon as we went the other direction, that's where it really stood out. The gap there was that Judy doesn't
Well,
ride out there. He doesn't ride that kind of stuff. So I mean, what can you
well,
expect?
and it's weird to think that, like, even KTM before Arlington, they sent him back to Florida before Arlington to try to get used to ruts or deep stuff, or it may have been after Arlington, but it's like, you can't just throw him in there for a week, before his next race and say, hey, man, get used to ruts and softer
Right.
dirt and deeper shit. Like, you can't expect a guy to do that after he's been riding hard pack for the last 6, 7 months, in California. I
Yeah.
think that's a huge advantage for the star guys or anyone who else is training back east. I mean, they have tracks that are built out of clay, so it does hold up, it's not super deep. And then they have the days to where they are riding super soft dirt and deeper shit. So, I mean, it's only going to be a matter of time before everyone moves back east. I mean, half the people are already there. I think KTM and the Austrian brand may be the only one that's going to be stuck on the West Coast. Well, I think they are pretty much besides PC are the only ones really. Oh, Honda is, but um, you know, Honda's main guys are all back east. Hymus,
Yep.
All the
Shimoda,
KTM do,
Lawrence's.
all the KTM do is ride a Baker's factory.
Yeah. But their
Yeah,
main headquarters is out there
they're
in
main.
California, isn't
Yeah,
it?
like
They just
yeah,
opened like
they're
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, they spent like fucking $50 million to build a shop in California while everyone's leaving. They're building. It's like you get fucking retarded.
Zach, what about you? Who do you got for your picks for this weekend as we swing back to West Coast?
I'm gonna give it to Deegan, man. I think he locks it up. Kind of secures it. Brings his points lead a little further. That way, going into Salt Lake, he doesn't have to push it. He can kind of relax, get ready for outdoors. Yeah, I think he's got it done. I think Davies is gonna be a good threat to him, but I think Deegan will pull it out.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see. I know Deegan, they've been out riding outdoors, and outdoors we all know that's kind of more of like a loose, balls to the wall and let it hang out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see if him riding outdoors and kind of getting that looseness back is going to show in Supercross, and he's going to go out there and just kind of let it hang loose and just fucking put on a show, really. So I wouldn't be surprised if Deegan goes out there and just puts on some dominating performance and kind of shows that flash. But well, all right, boys. Anything else that we missed before we wrap it up? No, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Any bet?
Justin, if
Oh
you're
shit.
talking, I can't hear you. There you go.
Yeah. J Coop, he was the fastest in the main event. I mean, that could be the only real other thing, to talk
Wait,
about.
wait, what? Jay Coop was the fastest in the main event.
Yep.
Buddy,
He had the fastest lap time.
Jay Coop doesn't skim whoops though.
Yeah, well,
He's
J Coop
notorious for
fucking
not skimming
hey,
whoops.
hey, just like Ricky Bobby, fucking shake and bake, dude. Slingshot engage around the outside, dude. Fucking, I don't even know how. I was shocked when I saw that J Coop had the fastest lap because I would have thought Webb and Sexton had it, but J Coop had it. But like I said, we really don't got much. It's gonna be interesting. Hopefully, Deegan can wrap this title up. Around early. Maybe he comes out with the one W. Trying to stunt that right away. But I'm excited, I'm really excited for outdoors. That's what I'm excited for. I just can't wait. Everyone to be healthy. 250 class this year is going to be fucking stacked for outdoors. It's going to be a fucking cutthroat. So I'm ready to go outdoors.
Yeah, I'm excited. Outdoor shows are gonna be a good time. A lot to talk about there. Well, all right, that's it. That's the wrap up from Pittsburgh, heading into Denver this weekend. Thank you for listening. Give us a follow on Instagram. We're on X. Subscribe on YouTube. Cooper Webb calling you back out, dude. Give us some love. But
Finger
that's all we got
bang,
for this
baby.
week. We will see you next week on Cross Shredded. See ya.